I'm Kyle Lutz, and this is my team evaluation model presentation. On my last evaluation, my reinforcement objective was student motivation. The principal said that I do a good job throughout the lesson of explaining to my students why it's important that they master each skill, and I'm a good communicator and I have a good relationship with them. And my reinforcement objective was the standards and objectives, which is kind of a hard one to film, solid straight through, because what he wanted me to do was do a better job of going back to those objectives consistently throughout the lesson. So what I've done is I took 3 different shots of one class. In the first clip that you're about to see, that is the demonstration of my reinforcement, student motivation, and he said that he had to go with motivation, but what he was specific about was that I'm good at communicating the reason why my students are doing what they're doing, and so that's what you'll see. And you'll also see the beginning of my refinement area, which is standards and objectives, going back to those objectives over and over again and clearly stating them, making sure that those students are staying on track. So enjoy this first clip, and we'll talk to you again in just a second. Okay, today we're going to take a practice ACT, and just like last time, we're going to use the explanatory key, right, to find out where our deficiencies are. Y'all remember that? Mm-hmm. So the explanatory key tells you not only what the correct answer is and why, but what the incorrect answers are and why those answers are incorrect. So you're going to, and it helps you identify some deficiencies. Okay. So first we're going to complete the English portion of the ACT test. Then we're going to analyze each question with the explanatory key, and then finally we're going to create a short list of skills that you need to improve, right, based upon what your findings from that explanatory key. Okay. So open your books to page 438. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. I know many of you liked that shirt I was wearing. It's pretty nice. So this next clip is a little further on in the same lesson. After the students got done with their practice English portion of the ACT, then you'll see me go back to the board, reinforcing the objectives with the explanatory key, and grading their test. Analyzing each question with the explanatory key, finding out those weaknesses, and really taking the time to read in that explanatory key why the answer that they thought was the answer is wrong, and this is that's metacognition. I'm asking them to really think about their thinking, and to spend some time trying to identify their own weaknesses, so that as we move forward in our ACT training, they know where their glaring weaknesses are, so that they can reinforce those and really work hard to fix them before March, when they're given a free ACT. So and just in just a moment you'll see again, I go back to the board and mention the objectives one more time. So take it away, Mr. Lutz. Okay, so let's take a look back at our objectives. We've completed the English portion of the ACT. Now we're going to find out which ones we got wrong, and we're going to analyze those on the explanatory key. So if you go to page 897, that's the key. So use page 897 to score your test. And then page 495 is the explanatory key. Yeah, 897 is the key, and then back to 495 is the explanatory key. So once you just quickly find out which ones you got wrong, then you can turn back to 495 and analyze those questions, find out what you did wrong, and what we're gonna do is create a short list of the skills that explanatory key lets you know you need to improve on in order to improve your score. Okay. one less time, let's take a look at our objectives. We should be done with the explanatory key. Now we got about 5 minutes left. Let's create a short list of our deficiencies. That explanatory key, right, helped you point out some of the things you need to be working on. So let's create a short list. You can do it on the back of your answer sheet, okay? And we're going to keep that with us in our notebook. And we're going to be doing some stuff with it, so don't throw it away. Write down a short list of your deficiencies, of things you need to be working on to raise your ACT score that you discovered from the explanatory key. Okay? All right. You ready? Right now? Yeah. Okay. Well, as you can see, I would have had to film my entire lesson in order to give you a good look at my refinement. Going back to those objectives on the board consistently throughout the lesson. Over the past couple weeks since I got my evaluation back, I really have been focusing on using those objectives on the board to steer my classroom instruction. I was always under consideration that I've written them up there. Most of them can read it, so that'll be enough. But clearly it wasn't, and it really has been helping because now that I've been going to the board consistently, reminding them of our objectives for the day, the students are now noticing them and helping to keep me on track, because sometimes I'm a little goofy and I get off track telling a story or teasing a student or something like that. And so they're really, it's a lot easier for them to say, hey, let's remember our standards and objectives. What does this have to do with number 2 on the board? So it really has been helpful. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation, and can't wait to see the rest of yours. Thanks.